Good morning, everybody. Welcome, and thanks for jumping into this live stream today. Great to be with you. And well, this is an important one for me. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I'm really excited. You can see from the caption on here, the phrase you'll see, it says, General Michael Flynn is America's future. Now, a lot of you that are a fan of General Flynn and his career and his survival of the great persecutions and also how he is probably think, oh yeah, he is part of America's future. But there's a little bit of a story there. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's start like we always do and like we should with our Pledge of Allegiance. I'll put up on the screen the words of the pledge so you can join us in case you don't know them. And here's put up a flag. So no matter where you are, you have a chance. If you will stand and put your hand on your heart. And here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, and thanks to some of our great viewers, Glenn especially, who always has always reminded me of the power of the pledge. So, all right, well, this is really an exciting day. Just a few hours from now on this live stream, which is at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time, is when I do a live stream every day. Available at YouTube, YouTube, Phyllis Schlafly Eagles channel, Facebook Live, Ed Martin Live, also on Twitter at Eagle Ed Martin and other places. And pass it around, please. So you can always come in. And a few hours from now, about an hour and 15 minutes, General Flynn will send an email out to about 100,000 people whose email addresses are people that support him and are interested in what he's doing. Extraordinary group of people. He has an amazing followers. The following is in the millions, but that email will go out and it will announce an extraordinary change that I believe history will mark as a very important one, because America's Future, Inc. is a nonprofit organization started in 1946 by some of the patriotic Americans who were worried that there weren't enough people out there educating and talking about American exceptionalism and how the American system works so well for human families, for human beings and their families. And so these founders of America's Future, Inc. It started a few years earlier, but it was incorporated in 1946, started America's Future, Inc. And over the decades, it has been one of the leading organizations promoting what's at the heart of America. Sometimes famously, in the 1950s and 60s, America's Future was kind of famous, published some great writers, a man named John T. Flynn and others, down through the 60s and 70s, engaged in, again, talking about what America, the specialness of America, the systems that make America so special and such a great place for flourishing. In the face of communism in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, there was a lot of need for that. And over the years, lots of leading businessmen and women and publishers and others came on board. And I'll just point to two of them because one of them is very close to me and the other one is also I'm close to. But the first was Phyllis Schlafly, the late Phyllis Schlafly, began serving on America's Future decades ago. And during that time, General Jack Singlaub, who is a great American patriot, he began serving on America's Future, Inc.'s board. And the two of them worked together. They were great friends. And of course, Phyllis Schlafly passed away a few years ago. General Singlaub is still going strong, almost 100 years old. Amazing man. The last few years, General Singlaub has served as the chairman of America's Future. But about, I'd say, 2 decades ago, as America's Future sort of settled into its kind of role, they were doing publishing and some radio. Phyllis Schlafly and General Singlaub and a few others said, what's the future going to be for this organization? And they kind of felt like the future would come. And a few years ago, General Flynn became the person, the man that I think we needed to take over this organization. So later today, we're going to announce that General Michael Flynn has become the chairman of America's Future, Inc., a nonprofit focused not on politics. You see, General Flynn is not a politician. It's not his thing. He's not a politician. He was a warrior. He was a man who was a learner in the military. He became a 3-star general. That's not easy to do. This is the cream of the crop. but he's not someone who was a politician. In fact, in his career, he became an expert on lots of things: warfare, certainly, intelligence, counterintelligence. Became an expert on national security. I certainly got to know firsthand campaigns helping President Trump as a candidate in 2015 and 16. But people in this country know he also has served a term, almost a 4-year term, as a prisoner of the modern persecution machine. That was government tied together, we call it the deep state or not, but government tied together with media and big tech. And for 4 years, he really was a prisoner of this modern persecution machine. And here's what happened. So now he's someone who's not only a great leader, a great dynamic, a man who's educated and succeeded at the highest level, but now he's someone who has survived a kind of persecution, a kind of prosecution. I heard someone say that the prosecution is the process is the punishment. You know, that the people that were doing this to General Flynn, they didn't need to ultimately win. They were putting him through it and taking him off the fields of battle at the time. But he came through, and he's a survivor now. And the way people relate to him is as someone who has gone through the hard times, gone through the tough times, and persevered. Doesn't make it easy, doesn't make it simple. And so when I say General Flynn is America's future, what I mean is he's looking out and saying, how do we continue to be a great nation? How do we continue to be a great people? What is it about our nation and our people that can make us stronger and better and happier? And when he talks about his faith and his family, when he talks about the systems of how we're supposed to fit together, just as America's future did starting in the late 1940s. You know, the market system that allows flourishing, the property rights system allows flourishing. You can hear General Flynn talk about all that, but the authority that he brings to this moment in America is second to none, I think. I've never seen anything like it. So it's really, really exciting. So I encourage you, visit americasfuture.net, americasfuture.net to learn more. Over the next couple of weeks and months, General Flynn's got a lot in store in terms of communicating what he sees and feels. And I think if he were sitting next to me, I've heard him talk about this. He's not America's future in the sense that he's in his 60s, I guess, but he's fighting and battling and communicating because America's future is 20 right now, and 15 and 10 and 30 young people that are looking ahead and saying, am I supposed to live in a world where fear of government and fear of COVID and fear of other foreign entities, how do I live with that? And so I think General Flynn knows that America's future is all our kids and grandkids, and that it's worth fighting for, and it's so special. So again, it's a really important day for this country. I think history will mark that General Flynn's role in how special America is continuing in a very special way, and that's America's future. And so on behalf of a lot of people like John Schlafly and Phyllis Schlafly, the late Phyllis Schlafly, other folks that all these years worked together, it's a great blessing that General Flynn has taken on this role. It's a great privilege that he would do this. So he could be playing golf and surfing at this point. He's earned it. Instead, he wants to fight for America's future. It's going to be something to see. So I want to encourage you again, visit americasfuture.net to find out more, and stay tuned. I happen to be blessed enough to be working with him on some of what's coming, and he's got a vision of how to work together and be together and live together and continue to have the blessings that God's given this nation, have them continue to grow and increase. So check it out. I'll look forward to it, and have a great weekend, everybody. It's a special day. It'll be a special weekend, and good and hopeful times are coming when things like General Mike Flynn taking over this position happen. Be encouraged. Don't be discouraged. So we'll talk again soon. Thanks for being here. And again, don't forget americasfuture.net. Check it out, and go over to proamericareport.com. Sign up for our emails and get looped in on all that we're doing. God bless you all.